Okay, I just see now I have to laugh at myself. And laugh. I'm laughing at myself. But I had to come back because I'm like reading it and just reading the first part about the June Cleaver voice and tone, because I did say the quote unquote bullshit June Cleaver, and although I'm saying and suggestive and it's true in terms of the epitome and the standard of mothering and so forth. Oh, and isn't it so interesting? And I guess that's what's making it the bullshit part. Those things are true in terms of how I hear it. It's like, oh, please don't be sorry. Oh, don't be discouraged. It's like, that's just, I know Destiny and Destiny's, in part, it's Destiny and how Destiny's energy flows. It seems like a sort of a southern way of mothering. But, here's the real thing for me, and probably why I refer to it as bullshit June Cleaver. Because that's not the kind of mothering that I had. My mom and my parents, that energy, that tone, and, even those type of words they didn't do. Coming from where I'm from, it was more like, our mothers express love. It's like, I beat you because I love you. I tell you these things because I love you. Get your dumb ass. My mom didn't really talk to us like that a lot, but there were other factors in my life that were certainly like that. Throughout my life with my mother, and, so forth. But, that just wasn't the way the mothers in the hood talked. That's how they talked on TV. And during that time period, we grew up in that time period. I grew up in that time period. Leave It to Beaver and Joan Cleaver. That shit happened on TV. That happened with white people. So that's where the bullshit June Cleaver came from. And at the same time, it does not negate the fact that programming was in fact intended to set the standard for how a mother would talk with her child and what mothering looked like. That was the intent of it. And, the whole inconsistency in thought and behavior that I talk about, and that as a collective African descendants we do, that whole thing just sort of is highlighted, because this was the standard and the epitome, yet the reality was very, very different. And even so, a lot of times people, and you all, and I'm just saying, okay, well, with you all, this is where it's at right now, Anyway, it may be our intent and our thought, our thinking about ourselves and our actions, that this is, they believe that this, well, I guess it's certainly they believe that by putting stuff on television and creating the production and setting the stages and all that shit would in fact have an impact and influence on people's lives. They just lied about for us the intent that it would have, or the effect that it would have, television and all those messages about what parenting should be and what it should look like. So that's where the bullshit piece came from. So I was just reading that, and then I had to laugh at myself because, I'm reading what I said, and then I read what you said, and I recalled what I said. I did say the bullshit June Cleaver. So if it's mothering, then how could it also be bullshit? It isn't that a deep dichotomy. It's always about the both and at the same time. And we do work to do the work, or I believe it would be useful for people to, I know I do, work to do the work. I do work to look at it from the side that's more helpful, and it's a both, and I look at it from the part of the mother and to take that. At the same time, I can no longer ignore the part that's like, shit, like, wait a fucking minute, this is not, you're saying that this is what you're intended, yet these things don't seem to add up. When this and that happens, it doesn't seem to add up. Can you help me understand that? And so that's what I wanted to say, and that's all I'm gonna say tonight. All right. And Take Me Higher. That's interesting because if you listen to the Blog Talk show from Wednesday night and Thursday night that week that you called in on that Tuesday, especially Wednesday, Higher. I think I played Stevie Wonder's Higher Ground, and that was in direct response to what was triggered in our interaction when you called. Yet, and for me, it is about, wanting more, I don't know, opportunities and connections with people. And that's why I do what I do, and that's why I'm saying what I'm saying. And, you just happen to be the first one. You and Shizzle that nizzle that just kind of triggered, and it's like, you know what? I had to get this off my chest, and now let me say this, let me reframe it and come in a different way. That's how it works. So, all right.